Hey guys, Jonah here, feeling pretty rough, man, battered because of my latest round of treatment. So, yeah, fuck me, this is going to be. I don't know how this beer review is going to go, but anyway, going to do it. Um, we are doing the last beer from the Polish box, and as you all see, is this really a Polish beer? Not sure. Um, it is Ad Astra Zmrok Porter at 4.2% on the ABV. Now, I have no idea where Ad Astra is based. The website is ridiculous. I personally think, dun, 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 if it, come on, dude, zoom in on that bad boy. I think they are based somewhere in the UK. Come on, zoom in. There we go. Anyway, yeah, inspired by a classic Baltic porter, itself a 19th century reinterpretation of a traditional British style. Packs a rich and complex malt character, subtle notes of raisin, prune, and caramel, restrained hops, medium carbonation. It's an intersection between a brown porter and a Schwarzbier. Um, and look, this was made for Ad Astra at Full Circle up in Newcastle. Newcastle, or up there somewhere. We got some wheat in there, hops, yeast. I do quite like this. I very much suspect that Ad Astra is something to do with Beer 52. I went onto Company's House to do some snooping, and Ad Astra is actually registered. Well, it was registered until 2023, last year, of course, and the company itself dissolved in the UK. So, are they based solely, I don't know, on the interwebs somewhere or in Europe? I think very dodgy. And Beer 52, no, they have some sort of connection. That's so weird, that little sort of squiggle thing. Because you can solely buy these beers from Beer 52. You cannot buy them from anywhere else. Um, there is an email address, and it's a guy called Fraser, which is a Scottish name. And Beer 52 are based in Edinburgh, aren't they? So there is something incredibly dodgy going on with these guys. And the beer I'm going to have tomorrow, I think, if I don't die overnight, is going to be another one of these beers, but from a different box. So I think the connection with Poland is very slim, to say the least. I think the hops could be Polish. Um, the hops are Lubelski. Sounds quite Polish to me. And that could be the only reason why this is in the Polish box. But wherever beer does come from, I like beer. So let's see if this is a good one. Very interesting that they're saying it's a brown porter mixed with a Schwarzbier. Something to do with the malts, no doubt. It is pretty dark, but I know what they're saying. Look right down the bottom. It's kind of really dark brown. Look at that head. My God, some huge bubbles of doom in there. Carbonation bubbles, but a lovely tan colour. Quite a good amount of carbonation. And don't forget, this has got some wheat in it, but it's also got some really dark stuff in it. We've got things like Crystal 100. You don't see that very often. Sorry, I'm itching myself. Sorry, dear viewer, you don't want to see that, especially when you're drinking and I'm drinking. Yeah, this is going to be quite interesting. So, definitely going to have some sweetness, I would imagine. Some darkness, some burnt character too. And I am getting that roasty kind of character, not in a coffee way, but just in a kind of roast, yeah, roasty barley, roasty malty kind of thing. Anyway, cheers and beers. I really hope that this beer will make me feel better, because blood and guts and stuff were coming out of places where they shouldn't really have been coming out last night. Didn't get much sleep. Feel pretty rough. So cheers and beers. We're going to drink this one. Oh, okay. So I can see why they're saying Schwartz beer, but it's not strong enough. It's got that burnt sort of kind of cinder thing going on, cinder toffee. No doubt this is from the Crystal 100. Yeah, quite burnt as well. It's got chocolate malt in it, but this is not a chocolatey beer. Chocolate malt does not equal chocolate beer. It just means it's a dark, roasty bad boy. I think the wheat perhaps in here has kind of helped smooth things out a little bit. And don't forget, although it said, "Oh, this is coming from a Baltic porter," Baltic porters are pretty strong, and this is only 4.2%. So this is basically on a par with something like Guinness. It's quite a light beer, so it's not a Baltic porter at all. There is a bit of bitterness there. I can't really pick out, because it's such a dark beer. I can't really pick out the hops that much, apart from the bitterness, of course. Everything else, the aftertaste, is all about the malts and the stringency and things like that. But because it's quite a light beer, perhaps it's watered down to some degree. It's actually quite easy drinking. It's not a bad beer at all. Mm. Yeah, for those of you that are getting into their craft beer and darker beers especially, something like this will be good, because if you want to jump straight into an imperial stout, and really strong, horrible, I don't even like them. Some of them have farmhouse characters and all sorts, and it's just some people really like that, but I don't. But this has all the kind of flavors that you would get from a stronger edition, and we're talking sort of 6% upwards to like 10, maybe 11%. But this isn't like that. This is nice and mellow. But if you take your time, you can definitely pick out, um, yeah, those kind of fruit cakey kind of things. They were talking about prunes and weird stuff like that on the can. Um, but again, because it's such a light beer, and I really suspect it has been watered down a little bit. Um, yeah, this is nice. Yeah, and the crystal gives that sweetness as well. Maybe it was really sweet and they backwatered it, or maybe they just brewed it kind of with a lot more water in it. Um, a full boil, but with extra water in the boil, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, because otherwise it would have been very, very sweet at a higher kind of ABV and a higher strength beer. This would have been really, really sweet, but it isn't. It's okay. Mm. And a kind of light beer is what I wanted to drink tonight, because I feel like I've gone sort of 10 rounds with Mike Tyson. It's been nuts. And he's turned into a complete bad boy again. Produced by Ad Astra Brewery, Zmrok Porter, brewed in Newcastle, or very near there, in my full circle. Um, yeah, very, very interesting. I'd be interesting to know, dear viewer, if you know anything about Ad Astra Brewery. Who are they? Where are they? And what's the connection to Beer 52? I'll leave that with you, and I will see you down in the comments down below.